Good evening, everyone. Hope you've had a great day. This is Rigby. Solo today, unfortunately. My good pal Stuart has had to go off, so unfortunately I'm commentating by myself. So I feel sorry for all you lot, to be honest, having to hear me without anyone to tell me to shut up now. But either way, we are here. It's been a long day of racing, from F4 to F3 to F2, but we're finishing off with F1 here at Monza as the drivers jump out for their first run at qualifying. Looks like it's going to be a dry qualifying session here. I'm not sure what the race will be. We'll have to wait and see on that front. But a couple of reserve driver notices to update you with. So IP is a reserve driving for Haas today. Normally in F2 he is. Alongside him we'll have Rocky, who is winning the championship in F3, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how Rocky gets on today in F1. Witchy is in the Ferrari, of course, in F2 as well. Aryan is in the Renault. Penna is in the Racing Point. And Joe Royal joins in on the Ferrari. So two teams being represented by two reserve drivers, which is interesting. We'll see how that turns out. So as we try and find out who is across the line first. I'm sorry, I'm probably giving you all headaches just now. I believe it's the Renault of El Trucker. Yes, it is. So we will we'll stay on board with El Trucker for now. But yeah, Monza's obviously known as the Cathedral of Speed, if you've watched Top Gear or whatever. So it's one of the fastest tracks on the calendar. Not too many corners here. So it's all about speed. It's all about consistency. Not too many places to overtake. I think the long straight after Scari is definitely somewhere people might look to go for a move. Of course, start finish straight is always a prime overtaking zone. So yeah, it's really important to get a good qualifying position around here. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Obviously on board with our Chocolate at the moment in the Renault. It's been an alright lap so far. We'll jump straight on board with the Haas drivers, who I believe are just behind him. We didn't mean to do that. El Chocolate does a 1:19. It's Rocky who crosses. Is it? No, it's not Rocky who crosses the line next. It's Chopper Harris who crosses the line next. Then followed by, it's not Joe Rowe, but we'll stay on board with him. As he comes across the line, Joe Royal will set a 1:19.6. Go Van Zyte comes across the line, does a 1:19.4. Meanwhile, Yari on the medium tyres, he's done a 1:19.4 as well, just a little bit quicker than the Go Van Zyte. He's up to P2 at the moment. Stay on board with Harry Cully, as IP has retired from the session, so he must have crashed out just after, in fact, just on Ascari. So that's a massive shame for IP, our reserve driver. As Harry Colley goes provisional pole, 1:18.9. Very good lap from Harry, that. Meanwhile, Aryan is going to jump into the pits, I think. Let's see if anyone else is doing a lap at the moment. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, very easy to invalidate your lap around here. I think quite a few drivers found that out firsthand there. But no matter, plenty of time in qualifying to go, as we're on board with the Williams of Carcraft, who is going to set his time, and on the soft he'll do a 1:18.949. Oh, that is, I mean, look how close that's to him and Harry Clay, that's unbelievable. And Carcraft takes provisional pole, very good first lap from Carcraft. No surprise there, we know what his pace is like. Meanwhile, sorry, was just looking at a message there. Vision goes on provisional pole for 1:18.5. So he goes 4 tenths quicker than Carcraft. Meanwhile, we'll stay on board with learning the wheel in the racing point, of course. On his first run at qualifying. As he comes up to Ascari. Ooh. You heard the brakes screeching there, and he's just lost the car, and he's not going to put it in the wall, but that is going to be the end of his qualifying lap there. As Max comes across the line to start his next fast lap. Meanwhile, Faddy in the Red Bull, another one of those drivers not to set a time yet. Just bear with me a second, guys. So I am back as Faddy comes round the final corner. This is a corner we can lose a lot of time, and then Faddy will have to run too wide, but Faddy doesn't do that. And it is a 1:18.7 for Faddy. He's up into P2. Meanwhile, Chopper Harris in the Williams in P12 at the moment, looking to improve his time. Keeping it nice and tidy. So easy to lose the car, particularly in those gravel traps there. Running wide there is not only going to invalidate your lap, but it's going to end up having you spinning into the wall. With not a lot of space as well, it's going to definitely mean some damage to your car. But as you see, there's a Ferrari, I think it might be Joe Royal just in behind him. But Chopper Harris comes down the final corner. Runs a little bit wide, but he will do 1:19.1, and that puts him up into P6. Meanwhile, it was Joe Royal behind him. And Joe will go into P7. It's a 1:19.2 for the Ferrari driver. As Too Late Mate is on an outlap. We know all about how fast he can be. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him shoot into the top three straight away. Meanwhile, Federico Toxic, Max has to get out of the way of him. I don't know if he hit the wall there, but anyway, Federico currently in P14 at the moment, looking to improve on his time, using all his ERS, and he will do a 1:19.4, and that keeps him in P12, I believe. Meanwhile, who's coming across the line next? It looks like McLaren of Harry Colley is just about to set his next lap time, so we'll keep an eye on that. John Royal has invalidated his lap time. Yari's going to jump into the pits. The Ghost of Anxiety just starting his lap, another one we'll have to keep an eye on very closely. Meanwhile, Rocky does a 1:19.5, puts him up into P13. Which he in Sector 1, learning the wheel, and just a little bit up the road in Sector 2, we'll stay on board as learning the wheel for now. In fact, we won't actually, because I can see Harry Colley is a bit further up the road, so we'll join him instead, currently in P4 at the moment. With that fantastic lap time 1:18.9 that he done in his first run. Meanwhile, Carcraft does a 1:18.4, he's on provisional pole. That's fantastic from the Williams there. Harry Colley has lost it in a Ascari, and that will bring an end to his lap attempt. Shame for Harry Colley there. Meanwhile, Goat of Anxiety, currently in P11, just outside the top 10. What time can he set? Can he improve at all? Comes across the line. It's going to be better. It's a 1:18.9. He is into P5 now. Meanwhile, Penna coming around the final corner. Is he going to set his lap time? He is. Currently in P16, and he's now in P9 with a 1:19.2. Very nice improvement there from Penna. Meanwhile, our resident weatherman, Scotty Fennell, has currently in P18. We'll see what sort of lap time he is going to set when he comes across the line. Runs a little bit wide, but he corrected it there. What if he is going to jump into the pits? No, he is going to set his lap time. Scotty is going to improve. It's a 1:20, but it keeps him in P18. Meanwhile, Vision, run very wide there in our final corner. That will have cost Vision, I think. But he'll still get provisional pole, a 1:18.3 from MBD Vision. I guess he was just able to keep the speed up in that final corner, and he didn't lose as much time as I thought he was going to. As his teammate Too Late Mate will jump into the pits. Meanwhile, P4 currently is Faddy. Can he improve on his time at all? It's a 1:18.6. He does improve, but keeps him in P4. Meanwhile, El Trocker is up to P5. That 1:18.8. Very nice time from the Renault. Meanwhile, Mavs UK in the AlphaTauri jumping into the pits. Yari on his outlap at the moment. Currently in P14. He won't be happy with that. He'll definitely want to improve on that lap time. And I've got no doubt that he will, of course. With just about 4.5 minutes to go now, you'll see the drivers jump into the pits for the final time to put those final pairs of soft tyres on to have another final crack at getting provisional pole. But it looks like most people are in the pits, so I'm going to stay on board with Yari for his lap. And see how he does. It does go purple sector 1. So it's a good start to the lap. Hard to correct himself just a little bit there to avoid going into the gravel. The Goat of Anxiety retires from the session, so he's not going to improve on his time. Nice run through there from Yari. Using the apex, but also not running himself into the gravel. He goes purple again in sector 2. Yari is on a mission here. But he's invalidated it in a Ascari. I didn't even think he ran that wide there, and that's a shame for him. I wonder if he's got enough fuel to go again. And that is a shame for the Mercedes of Yari. Meanwhile, Aryan has invalidated his lap time, so he's going to slow right down. Let's jump on board with the Haas of Rocky. Currently in P17, the F3 driver. I've seen very close in hand what Rocky can do, so he's a very fast driver. So, wouldn't be surprised to see him improve by a couple of attempts and push himself further up the board here. Nearly cut the corner there in Ascari and nearly sends it right into the wall as well. It's not a great run at all there, and that may have cost him quite a bit of time. We'll have to wait and see. I'm wondering if Rocky's going to jump into the pits. No, he is going to set his time, and it's a 1:20.2. It's not faster than his original time. Let's jump further up the field, right? Okay. Oh, and Max. Well, we were just on board with Max there. Looks like he's binned it, so that is the end of his qualifying. Meanwhile, Carcraft starts his lap. Currently in P2. It's not even a tenth between him and MBD Vision at the moment, who is still in the pit, so he's going to be cutting it fine to set another lap time. So this is an opportunity for Carcraft to improve on that time and give it Vision a little bit of something to think about as someone in the wall there. That's the end of their qualifying. I think it might have been IP actually. But let's see Carcraft. He's got a nice run through there, just like Yari did. Let's see though if Carcraft can avoid invalidating his lap time in the Ascari section. Looks like he has. And this is looking not too bad from Carcraft. Got a couple of cars up the row from him. I think he's it nice and steady there, keeping it nice and tight to the line, Carcraft. What time is this going to be? It's a 1:18.411. It's not going to improve on his current lap time. Meanwhile, we'll jump on board with Faddy in the Red Bull, currently in P4. Not a great run for there as Carcraft completely cuts the corner. I don't know if he's maybe trying to go and do another lap. But he stays out of the way of Faddy, who is not lost a tenth in that first sector. So not ideal for Faddy. We'll jump. We'll check back with Faddy's time in a bit, because Harry Cully's going to come across the line as qualifying comes to an end. So Harry Cully is going to set a 1:18.9. Joe Royal will do 1:19.2. Joe Royal's teammate Witchy is going to come across the line next, and he's invalidated his lap time, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Yari in P15 at the moment. He is going to improve. It's a 1:18.4. He's up to P3. Yari. Meanwhile, Faddy comes across the line but has invalidated his lap time. Who's next to come across the line? I think it might be too late, mate, actually, you know, potentially. And it's a 1:18.5 and he's only P4. Meanwhile, Vision has invalidated his lap time. But I think is going to be okay. That is going to be provision. That is going to be pole position for MBD Vision. As Lion DeWheel does a very good lap time at the end there and does a 1:18.8 and he's up into P6. Meanwhile, Chopper Harris had invalidated his lap time, and that will bring an end to qualifying with MBD Vision and the Alfa Romeo getting pole position with that 1:18.3 mega lap from him. Carcraft had a good qualifying session as well. He done a 1:18.4. He was on P2, and I'll run through the rest of the grid in just a second when the standings load up. So here we go. So Yari gets up to P3, although he's got a 5-position grid penalty. I'm not sure what that was for. Maybe for speed in the pit lane, I'm not too sure. So he will be starting in P8, which means Too Late Mate will be starting in P3, Faddy in P4, Learning the Wheel in P5, El Chocker P6, Go of Anxiety P7, then you'll have Yari in P8, and then it's Harry Colley in P9, along with Max Jong. That's the top 10. Penna and Mavs UK are on the 6th row. Chopper Harris and Joe Royal on the 7th. Frico Toxic and Witchy on the 8th. Aryan and Rocky on the 9th. And Scotty Fennell and IP round off the grid. So do let me know who you think is going to win this race. Who are your favourites? Does anyone have any dark horses potentially that they think could do well in the race? Do let us know. And of course, if you are driving in the race and you're just spectating the stream, maybe just for inside information, have a good race, good luck to you, and yeah, just have a good one, basically. But it's going to be dry for the race by the looks of things. There's not a cloud in the sky here at Monza, so it is going to be dry. So it's going to be a one-stop strategy, I would say. Top 10 will be starting on the soft, so it'll be a case of soft to medium. If you're outside the top 10, I think Edson one stop, you probably best starting on the mediums and then getting onto the softs. Scotty Fennell, our resident weatherman, says Too Lately, I think he says, was rapid in GP2. And Scotty Fennell says he is just spectating. Does that mean you're not in the race, Scotty, or do you just mean you're racing while spectating the stream? But either way, Yari starting in P8, he'll definitely be further up there in my opinion, as long as he stays out of trouble. El Chocker's a good driver as well, been impressed with him lately. So I expect him to be fighting towards the top as well. But I agree with you, Scotty, Too Late Mate, yeah, he's a very fast driver, so he'll definitely be up there, in my opinion. So drivers out on their outlaps, we can have a quick look at the tyres for this race. So 3 drivers opting for the mediums, that is Mavs UK, Frico Toxic and Aryan. Meanwhile, IP going on to the hard tyres. Very interesting strategy. So maybe he's going to do a very long stint on the hards, and then he'll jump on the softs at the end. I was told I was in this quality in a house. Why did I not get invited? I don't know. I'm not sure, Deepover, mate. I mean, I wasn't told that. But you have to bring that up with whoever's your tier director, the tier director for this race. But either way, the drivers just coming around the final corner to get themselves lined up once again. Runeke says PP. I don't know what you mean by that. But anyway, in my race before, we had virtual safety cars. I haven't actually seen a safety car in any of the races. So let's see if it's going to be any different here in Tier 1. But good luck to all the drivers. Guys, hope you enjoy the race. Do keep interacting in the chat. It's always good to see your opinions on incidents that happen in the race. As the drivers line up on the grid. I can't see the lights, so I'll just have to go on the sound of them. We have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5 red lights. And away we go here at Monza. As there's a Mercedes going very wide there as we enter turn 1. Let's see what's going on. Faddy's going over to P4. He's got Learning the Wheel for company just beside him. Meanwhile, there's a virtual safety car out already, and it's, I think it's between Chopper Harris and Aryan. Something has happened at the back there, and Chopper Harris is now down in P19. So we have our first virtual safety car. Meanwhile, it looks like Yari has got himself a penalty as well. As we'll just leave it like that for now. But yeah, it's our full safety car, so it's just off to drop their speed to the Delta, and then they'll be able to go racing once again. But the Delta can be a pain. You've got to be really careful with it. I found that out the hard way in my race before. We do go racing once again. Looks like no one got a drive-through penalty, which is good. And straight away, Carcraft having an attack on Too Late Mate. They're touching, they're side by side, but Carcraft has got through in that scenario. I was a bit worried there, but now Faddy might be having a look at Too Late Mates, potentially on the straights. They might go, and they might go wide there, as the standings go all over the place, so bear with me on that. It isn't, I don't know why it does this, the game needs to fix this, but either way, Too Late Mate looks like he might be having a go at Carcraft here. No, he's gonna just settle in behind the Williams for now. I don't really want to switch on this battle at the moment because I can't see where everyone else is. I just know these guys are the top four, as the standards have now fixed themselves, which is good to see. We'll change it to that as well, so we can keep an eye on any battles that might be happening on track. But here we're on board with the Mercedes of Max. Goes out, he does not get a good run at all through Ascari. Max will say thank you very much to that, and he will have a free position, or say a free position. I thought they were going side by side, but no, Max is through for P7. Meanwhile, further up the road, NBD Vision still out in front at the moment, only though by a couple of tenths. It's pretty tight between the top four at the moment, as Rocky sets the fastest lap of the race so far. But yeah, I'll stay on board this battle for now, as Carcraft is looking, he's having a look at Vision at the moment. He is getting a little bit closer, not close enough of course to make a move there. The goal of Anxiety, I don't know if he's lagged out of the session. That's a shame for him. I'm sure he'll be able to get himself back in, hopefully. But Carcraft, just heard him turn on the DRS that he will get here on Vision. He is gaining. It wouldn't be smart to make a move go here at Ascari. He's best to get in a better run here. And it looks like he has done, and he might be able to have a move on Vision in the start-finish straight, or is he going to go for a move here? We'll wait and see. No, he's going to wait to go on, maybe attack him on the start-finish straight with his ERS. As you can see, it's deployed. There's yellow flags in Sector 2, not sure what that's for. But Carcraft has got the ERS now. And it looks like he's going to get the move done, as Yari has retired from the session because our first retirement. And that has actually brought out a full safety car. So, unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened with Yari there. But that is a massive shame to see him out of the race. And yeah, this is interesting now. So we're on lap 4, safety cars come out. For all the back markers, particularly for Scotty Fennell actually, who's about to just prove my point. They've got very lucky with the safety car being deployed then, because they're able to jump into the pits, and because everyone has had to slow right down and form up a neat line, it's essentially a free pit stop. And I would expect most people, particularly on the softs, to jump in during this safety car period. as they're trying. What happened to Yari? And it looks like something happened in turn 1 potentially. I'm not. I don't know if that was maybe an earlier comment or whatever, but yeah, Yari has brought out this full safety car. So here we go. So we're gonna have Vision jump in. Too late. In fact, they're all jumping in. They're all jumping in. Max opting to stay out. Someone's getting a drive-through penalty was out there. I'm not 100% sure. But Max takes the lead of this race as all the front runners now deciding to pit. But Scotty Fennell you'll be able to get past quite a few of these, Scotty, now in the pits. It's come out a great time for you, mate. But Max, interestingly, opting to take track position over pitting. So is Max thinking there might be another safety car and he might be able to stretch those softs, and we'll have to wait and see. It's a risky strategy. But either way, Scotty Fennell in P11 after that, after pitting first. So I'm wondering if everyone is going to catch up in time for the go of anxiety. You can see there is miles away, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have another lap of safety car running at least. So this is your opportunity to go and grab a quick drink. Before we get going once again. But yeah, it's up to Max now to get the points for the Mercedes team today. If we have a quick look at the standings at the moment in the constructors, Mercedes currently in P3. So they need to get some good points today, so it's on Max to do that now. Alfa Romeo running away with it in the constructors. 110 points clear of second place Ferrari, so it's been a fantastic season between Too Late Mate and MBD Vision. Speaking of Too Late Mate, he is currently our driver leader, driver standings leader. I can't speak at the moment. With 153 points, he's about 47 points up the road from Carcraft, who's currently running P5 in this race. But it looks like it's just the goat of anxiety's AI to catch up, so hopefully it can do so we can go racing once again after this lap. But Max is going to be, obviously he's going to be fast off the line, but you know, his tyres are going to be, they're going to be done in a couple of laps, so it's an interesting tactic from him, but I like to see someone do something different to everyone else, as you all know, so I'm a big fan of that. We'll have a quick look at the position changes. We've had some unbelievable starts. Federico is currently in P2. He started way back in the grid in P15. Meanwhile, Aryan has started at the back, is up to P3. IP as well. So it's been some fantastic jumps to the front for Federico, Aryan and IP, which I'd love to see. Scotty Fennell says, this should be interesting. Hope Millions were a good choice and another safety car. Well, speaking of safety cars, unfortunately, we do have to suffer another slow, boring safety car lap. But yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously for you, Scotty, you've been on those mediums for 2 laps. You need to go another 20 laps or so on the mediums. So yeah, it would be better if you get another safety car came out, then you could jump on the softs to the end particularly if it happened towards that 15-20 time. Meanwhile, Depova says no first corners, I hope. I'm assuming, mate, you mean no shenanigans into turn 1. And I hope so as well. I think it's just a case that people just want to get. You've got to be so careful at turn 1. You just do, particularly at restart, and obviously at the start. You know, you've got to understand that you have to be considerate. You can't just stay on the racing line, or just go as fast as you normally would if you had a lot more space to say, so if you're in the middle of a race or whatnot. So yeah, it's just common courtesy for me. Just give people space. Don't put your own. Don't be selfish. If you have to concede a position or not, just say don't put something in the wall. Just do it. It's a long race. Anything can happen. As luckily the safety car is in this lap, so as you can see, Max has just had to slow down, let the safety car zoom into the distance, jump into the pit so we can go racing once again. As we have a quick look at the penalties, Rocky has got himself a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Madriquet's got himself a drive-through, so he's going to have to serve. Meanwhile, Chopper Harris got a 5-second time penalty for speeding as well, and then he got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, I think. But we are going racing once again. Max leads us off the line. Meanwhile, IP having a look at Aryan potentially. Not going to be able to do so. There's a racing point who's completely missed it. I don't know. And it's learning to wheel, and his front wings completely come off there. That was mental. I didn't see that fully, but it looked like he just sort of tried to take wasn't there, and he had to cut the corner, and he ended up hitting people. As Harry Cully had to be really careful. He's had to take a massive corner cut to avoid hitting Harry Cully. This is a mental restart. What's going on? A couple of people definitely got damage now. There's a 3-way battle here between Harry Cully and the wheel, who we know has damage. And too late, mate. But yeah, that was absolutely outrageous. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know whether he maybe got hit in behind, and that's why he ended up doing what he did. I didn't see it too clearly. But yeah, that's absolutely mental. As we jump on board with IP, there's a battle for P2 between these three at the moment. IP though on the hard tyres will show to keep up with the mediums of Aryan and Farico, but all that nonsense has meant that Max has managed to get a 3-second gap already to Farico in second. So it's really helped him. Meanwhile, Farico going quite slow in turn 1 there. Held up Aryan a little bit, and what that's done is allow Carcraft to get on the back of the Renault. There's yellow flags in sector 1 again. Carcraft here is going to look for a move on the inside. No, he's going to sit in behind the Renault for now, quite sensibly, I have to say. Meanwhile, Vision, a little tap on IP at the back there. But he's going to look to take him here, is he? He'll get DRS, of course, on the Haas, who runs wide, and that is going to be P5 for our pole sitter, who's making his way up the field at the moment. Meanwhile, Harry Cully getting past the IP as well there. We'll stay on board here with Too Late, mate. Who's going to go past IP for P8. I wonder if he's going to be able to get past Harry Cully on the straight. And we'll wait and see. As we can see up the road there, El Troca's having a look at Too Late, mate. Teammate MBD Vision. We'll stay on board though with Too Late, mate, at the moment, I think. so much going on. A Red Bull of Faddy getting past Scotty Fennell there as well. And maybe Faddy can get P9 as well. Here is IP, gets a horrible exit out of that corner, and he goes through and takes P9, so he takes 2 positions in the space of, well, 1 corner basically. Great driving from him. Meanwhile, slight up the road, we'll go back to the battle between Arjan and Vision, and it looks like Vision is going to have the inside line, and it looks like that move is done. It is, and Vision is now in P4. And Arjan might be in trouble against his teammate here. El Truck on the hards is going to go to the inside here, and his teammate completely shuts the door. There's no team orders being played there at all. As Vision gets himself a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Meanwhile, Harry Cully is now all over the back of El Trucker, both on hard tyres at the moment. But Harry Cully is going to get DRS, and he's going to sail past El Trucker as too late, mate. On the inside here, looking to have a cheeky little move there. Didn't quite work out. He stays in P7. Meanwhile, we're going to jump on board with the battle for P1 as Max did up to pit. He's now down in P16 after he pitted. So Carcraft has the lead of this race now. And Federico Toxic, who has not pitted yet, is currently in P2. I wouldn't expect him to pit for another 6 or 7 laps. So, but he's getting DRS at Carcraft at the moment. There's yellow flags in sector 2. I'm not sure what that is for. I think it's Witchy. If that is Witchy, it's going to bring out a virtual safety car. That is our second VSC of the race, so all the drivers have to slow right down. I don't think anyone will be jumping into the pits at the moment. Well, no, I don't think he will. In fact, Federico Toxic takes this opportunity to jump into the pits now. I wonder if he's going to go on to soft, although that would be a very, very difficult stint indeed to do, in my opinion. Federico having to maybe set I can't speak at all. Serve a penalty there, which held him up a bit. Meanwhile, someone just got a drive-through penalty. And Vision and Arjan have both got drive-through penalties because of Delta. So that's a massive shame for them, because they're going to have to jump into the pits, and, well, that's a nightmare scenario now for them. And that's going to put Harry Cully and El Trucker, who are on the hard tyres, in a brilliant position to get some very good points in this race. Because, of course, they're on hard tyres. I don't think they'll be wanting to pit again. As we do go racing once again. Too late, mate. On the mediums, up against El Trucker, who's on those hards. He'll have the pace advantage. Although El Trucker is maybe having a look at Harry Cully. But as he does so, he'll have to be careful. Too late, mate is coming. Is he going to go inside, outside? He's going to go to the outside. He'll get DRS as well. And there's going to be no defending this for El Trucker. And Too Late, mate is up into P4. A little bit late on the brakes there. But holds on to the position for now. Meanwhile, Faddy going side by side with El Trucker at the moment, and the Red Bull driver is through for P5. Meanwhile, Scotty Fennell currently in P8, gets onto the gravel but doesn't lose it, thankfully. He's chasing down Chopper Harris for P7. But we're going to jump away from this battle. We're going to jump on board with the battle between Harry Cully and Aryan. This is for P2 at the moment. And Aryan, who has not pitted yet, so Harry Cully doesn't necessarily have to push him too hard for this position. No, and he will be pitting in a couple of laps, but if he's holding the McLaren driver up, Harry Cully will not wait for him. As Harry gets a good run, and Aryan jumps into the pits. Harry Cully gets a bit of slipstream on him, and he's up into P2 now, because Too Late Mate is, excuse me, fighting him here. As we enter turn 1, Harry Cully gets the inside line, and holds on to P2 for now. But you would expect that this is going to be very difficult to hold on to P2 now for Harry Cully. Now Too Late Mate is on the back of him, and he's on the medium tyres, but Too Late Mate will hold off for now. Of course, Too Late Mate will want to get after Carcraft if possible, so he'll want to get this move done sooner rather than later. Let's see, Too Late Mate. They go through Ascari. If he gets a decent exit here, he'll sail past Harry, but Harry doesn't get a bad exit at all there, actually, to be fair. But the pace advantage of those mediums is really showing now, and he just needs to keep it nice and tidy and wait for the start finish rate. They're just about to enter now, and Too Late Mate with DRS. He'll open up his ERS as well just to get the move done. And Harry Cully's gonna try and defend this, is he? No, he's gonna have Too Late Mate is through to P2, and now he can set his sights on Carcat, or can he? Because Harry Cully was side by side with him coming out of that corner there. And Faddy plenty of nice overtaking being done on track at the moment. Faddy's had a couple of nice ones today, to be fair, and I wonder if he'll be looking for another one. Potentially on Harry Cully, on this just after Ascari. As Too Late Mate picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help him, as Carcraft does not have a penalty. I'm not sure if any warnings away he is from getting one. That would be interesting to know. As Farico gets past Aryan for P13. But here he comes, Faddy now. ERS is open. He's not got too much to fight there, as there's a yellow flags in sector 3. But Faddy's not quite close enough to Harry to make a move happen there. And he'll have to stay in behind the McLaren driver. Meanwhile, if we jump further down the grid just a little bit, Rocky finds himself in P8 on the hard tyres, up against Scotty Fennell in P7. As more yellow flags, this time in sector 2. And it's Carcraft's out the race! Oh my word! I wonder, has he just lost it? In that chicane, as another virtual safety car is deployed, and that is massive for the drivers' standings, because Carcraft needed to really get some good points on Too Late Mate today, but that's not going to happen. And he becomes our third retirement of the session. I agree, Depopa, mate, that is a shame, but that is the end of the virtual safety car, and El Chocker might be... is using DRS here. He's not going to be close enough to Faddy to make a move happen at the moment. As there's more yellow flags in Sector 3. It looks like IP has lost it at the end of it with Scary. And he's become our 4th retirement. And that is a massive shame for him. I don't know if it's going to bring out a safety car. I don't believe it has done. So we can continue racing without Trucker. Getting closer and closer to Faddy. Equally so though, Faddy's trying to close the gap to Harry Colley as well. So it's basically essentially a three-way battle for P2 at the moment. But what's interesting is that Too Late Mate has a 3-second time penalty to Harry Colley. And of course, I think Too Late Mate might have to go into the pits again. So Harry is in a really good position to potentially win this race. If he can hold off Faddy, that is though. Who's been threatening to go for a move for a couple of laps now. And maybe this is the time to do so, as Harry Colley does run wide. Faddy had to correct himself a little bit there. You can see on the wheel ERS has been deployed. I don't know if he got DRS or whatnot, but he's closing in. They're going to go side by side here. There's a little touch between them. Harry Colley trying to defend the position. Faddy touches him a little bit, but the Red Bull driver is through for P2. And now Harry needs to be careful he doesn't become too much under pressure from El Trucker. As a big lock up there from Faddy, but Harry Colley, that's not a good run at all. Maybe because of Faddy, the heavy braking that Faddy had to do there, that's really slowed down Harry Colley now. And El Trucker is hunting and is in the hunt for P3 here. And with the penalties, is this the battle for the race win at the moment? We will wait and see. But El Trucker's got a very good run out of Ascari there, and he has definitely made up some time on Harry Colley in that McLaren. He won't make a move happen here, as the Goat of Anxiety's car's being overtaken now. But Harry Colley is getting close to Faddy, and he might fancy getting his P2 back here. Where's he going to go? I think he is going to go to... Oh, Faddy closing the door a little bit there. And Harry has to stay in behind for now. But all this battling is really helping Too Late Mate, who needs to try and pull out a bit of a gap at the moment if he wants to win this race. Oh, Faddy just getting on the gravel just a little bit there. Might have slowed him down just a little bit as Rocky gets himself a 3-second time penalty. As Scotty Fennell has now got past Rocky, he's up to P6. And Harry Colley does get DRS now on Faddy, and he needs to get himself a good run here. Which he doesn't really. Faddy gets a much better one, and I tell you what, instead of Harry Colley being close enough to have a move on Faddy, maybe El Trucker could have a move on the McLaren instead. As Deepova says, come on Scotty, but he might have to pit again. I think actually probably will definitely have to pit again. I'm assuming for the softs. As Rocky and Scotty appear to be going switching positions at the moment, but Scotty's got himself back through for that P6 position, so we'll jump back on board with the battle between Faddy, Harry and El Trucker. With those penalties as well. Harry Colley would would win this race if it stayed like this, because Suleiman and Fadi both have 3-second time penalties. So it's important Harry just keeps penalty clean at the moment. But we'll jump back on board that battle between Rocky and Scotty Fennell. Rocky on those hard tyres, Scotty on the mediums. Excuse me, guys. As Joe Royal is now retired from the session, and Rocky jumps into the pits, and Max has now got past, and it's a virtual safety car. And that was very, very cheeky from Max, but it was fully well executed. And Max sneakily gets himself up into P6. As Scotty, well, that virtual safety car has come at a wonderful time for you, but it's going to be a case of making up positions now, as their Vision is retiring from this race now. He's retired in the pit lane, so that's a shame for our pole sitter to have to retire. As Leonard Wilkins have a drive-through penalty for speeding on the virtual safety car. As we do go racing once again, Too Late Mate still out in front on track at the moment. But with just about 5 or 6 laps to go, with 5 laps when they get around here, it's all to play for at the moment, and these guys on these medium tyres will be really struggling at the moment. The guys on hards will not be struggling as much, in my opinion, but El Chocolate is gaining on the McLaren now, but not enough, and Harry holds on to the position. It's been a great drive from Harry Cullis and El Chocolate so far, absolutely fantastic. Been a decent drive as well from Chopper Harris in P5, who returns to a full seat in F1, which is great to see, so welcome back to him. But as long as Harry Colley keeps that gap to Too Late Mate to under 3 seconds, he will win this race, as long as El Chocker doesn't get past him. But it just looks like every time El Chocker seems to get close, he just doesn't have enough of an advantage to get close enough to make a move on Harry. And of course, getting that DRS on Fadi will help as well, if he could, and he does get it here. As Fadi gets himself onto the gravel there. Luckily doesn't lose the car though, because of that. So easy to do. As Aryan shows his pace, he sets the fastest lap, but 1:21.9. But Fadi, you know something? Fadi is gaining on Too Late Mate just a little bit now. Too Late Mate, of course, still on medium tyres. I'm wondering if Fadi, in the next lap or two, if he can close the gap by a couple more tenths, will be in a position to attack Too Late Mate potentially for the lead on track. But only time will tell for that one. But Harry Colley gaining on the Red Bull. Harry almost losing the back end a little bit there, but corrected it relatively easily. But Harry Colley will get DRS, but crucially, Faddy will now be getting DRS on Too Late Mate. And I did say the last lap, is he potentially going to be in a position to make a move on Too Late Mate, and the gap is now coming down, and those mediums are screaming on Too Late Mate's car at the moment. And there would be no point pitting right now. He would essentially almost jump out of the points if he was to pit now, so he's going to have to stick it out for now, towards the end of the race I should say. But Faddy here, he's not in a position to go for a move there, but he's very close now. And I suspect if he can keep that gap to about 3/10 when they get to that, just after Ascari, he might be in a position to go for a nice move on our driver standings leader. Oh, he looks up a little bit there though, Faddy. And that's just allowed to make just to gain a couple more tenths on him. But here you go, Faddy now. Getting a nice run out of Ascari which he needed to do. And he is gaining now. And it's coming down all the time. And if he gets a good run out of here, Too Late Mate, just gets himself onto the curb a little bit there. And Faddy will use his ERS now. He'll get DRS as well on the Alpha driver. And he's gaining. He's going to go for a move this time. He's goes up, but Harry's going to go on the outside. He's going to go 3 wide. Oh, and he can't make that move happen. But Harry Colley's pushed him way off the track, and Harry Colley is through. And that is I can't believe Harry's done that. He didn't need to do it, because he's just got himself a 3-second time penalty. He was going to win the race through penalties. Why has he gone for a move like that? He should have just backed off. And he takes the lead of the race on track. But now El Trucker is the one who's going to win the race because of no penalties. Absolute madness. Harry's just thrown this race away. He should have just left Faddy to go for the move on Too Late Mate and just watched it happen. But instead he got greedy, tried to take him all on the outside. There was no space at all. I think he ended up hitting someone, maybe touching someone. But it was more when he came back onto the track. It was proper dangerous. And I'm sure the stewards will be looking into that. And that's a massive... I can't believe Harry's done that. I'm absolutely stunned. As we enter the final lap of this race, El Chocker just has to keep this clean. No penalties, lads, and you will win this race. And I did say at the start, I thought El Chocker was going to be fighting towards the front. I've been impressed with him in the last couple of weeks. And keeping it clean, keeping it nice and consistent on those hard times that he's been on since lap 5 been a fantastic stint from him. And he's going to win this race as long as he doesn't allow this gap to get any too big. So as we come round the final corner, Harry Colley is going to win the race on track, but because of penalties he's going to drop down, and El Trocker wins the race through penalties. Too late may take P4, on penalties drops down to P5, Max is into P4, fantastic drive from him, getting a P4 position. Rocky P7, got decent points for him. Penna jumped Rocky on penalties, he's now P7. Federico Toxic P9. Scotty Fennell gets the final points position as we wait for a few. Honestly, Scotty, I cannot believe Harry just done that. What a mental man. As Magic takes P12, learning the wheel will come round the final corner to take P13, and the Goat of Anxiety's AI will take P14, but El Trocker wins the race. Absolutely fantastic from him, as the driver of the day by the game is given to Rocky. Solid points from him, but I'm gonna have to give my driver of the day. Do you know what? It was going to be Harry Colley. It was going to be Harry, but El Trocker, do you know something? He didn't get too worried about taking on track. He just kept it cool, he kept the gap, he just followed in behind, didn't get himself into trouble, and as a result, he wins the race. Fantastic from him. So he's my driver of the day, El Trocker. Fellow Scott as well, love to see it. Started P6 as well, fantastic. Harry Colley P2. Although I would suspect maybe a further penalty from the shoots may be coming his way. Faddy drove a great race as well. He's in P3. Max P4. Too late, mate. P5. Chopper Harris P6 from P13. Decent job from him. Penna takes P7. Rocky P8. Federico Toxic P9. Scotty Fennell takes P10. So gets a decent point or two for McLaren, for Scotty. Had fair few retirements as well. Great weekend for El Trocker, GP2 double podium and F1 win. Fantastic weekend indeed from El Trocker. Definitely showing he's a very good driver and a welcome addition to SRL. But that's it from us guys. It's been another hectic racing Sunday of racing. But yeah, well done to all the drivers. Oh, thanks Scotty, mate. Hopefully I will have my fellow commentator shoot with me next weekend. We'll wait and see. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and we will see you on the next proper race is Friday, but we'll have a couple of practice races during the week. But join us on Friday at 7 o'clock for the No Assists League. Then join the 5 o'clock, join Row for the GP2 race series, where we're trying something out new, which will be interesting to see. And then join us on the Sunday. F4 starts at 3 o'clock, then you got F2, F3 at 5 o'clock, you all know this. And join myself here on SRL 2 for F1. So enjoy your week guys, stay safe, take care all. Thank you very much, Deep Over, mate. And I will see you all later on. Take care.